Floyd Mayweather had always been known for two things: perfection and pride. And today, both were on full display. It was supposed to be a regular media day, a few interviews, some training footage, nothing serious. But the moment a reporter mentioned Jake Paul's name, something inside Floyd lit up. His posture changed. His smile turned sharp. And he leaned into the microphone with the confidence of a man who had never tasted defeat. "Jake Paul," he said, chuckling under his breath. "That kid is too slow. Too basic. Too predictable. He couldn't touch me even if I tied one hand behind my back." The room burst into laughter. Cameras flashed. Reporters leaned forward eagerly, sensing a headline. Floyd continued, enjoying every second of the attention. "He talks big, but I don't see anything special. Speed? He doesn't have any. Power? Please. Experience? Zero. If he ever stepped into a ring with me," Floyd paused, letting the silence hang, "I'd school him in seconds." Everyone laughed again, except one person watching the live stream from thousands of miles away, Jake Paul himself. Jake's expression didn't change. He didn't blink. He didn't get angry. Instead, he whispered four words that would change everything. "All right, prove it then." Meanwhile, back at the gym, Floyd kept going, feeding the media with more arrogance. "Listen," he said, tapping his chest, "I'm the best ever. That kid isn't even worth sparring with. He's too slow. Too sloppy. Too easy." He shook his head with exaggerated disappointment. "I don't even know why we keep talking about him." But the more Floyd mocked, the more social media exploded. Clips of the interview went viral instantly. Fans debated nonstop. Some laughed along with Floyd. But others wondered. Is Floyd underestimating him? Has he forgotten Jake's improvements? By the end of the day, the entire fight world was on fire. Floyd, confident, laughing, unstoppable. Jake, silent, focused, and waiting. No one knew it yet, but this press conference was the beginning of something unforgettable. Because the man Floyd called too slow was about to shock him in a way the boxing world would never forget. Jake Paul sat in his training gym, hands wrapped, sweat dripping from his forehead, replaying Floyd's interview again and again. Every laugh. Every insult. Every arrogant word. Too slow. That line echoed the loudest. But Jake didn't react with anger. He reacted with focus. His coach walked by and sighed, "Ignore it, Jake. That's Floyd doing what Floyd does." Jake shook his head slowly. "No. This one needs a response. But not a Twitter rant. Not a podcast rant. Not a dramatic press conference." Jake wanted something different, something real. He walked to the corner of the gym, sat down, propped his phone against a water bottle, and hit record. No filters. No music. No gimmicks. Just a calm expression, and a message aimed straight at the undefeated legend. "Floyd," Jake said with a slight smile, "if I'm too slow, then prove it." He leaned closer to the camera. No cameras. No fans. No media. Just you and me. A private spar. Let's see who's really slow. He posted the video without thinking twice. And within minutes, the internet exploded. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Reactions from fighters, celebrities, and analysts. Some mocked Jake. Some supported him. But everyone watched. Within an hour, Floyd Mayweather responded, not with anger, but with the grin of a man who believed the universe revolved around him. Floyd posted his own video. Jake, you really think I need cameras to embarrass you? Boy, I can spar you right now. Tonight. Tomorrow. Doesn't matter. You want to get schooled? Set the time. Set the place. Floyd smirked. I'll teach you the difference between YouTube and boxing. And that was it. The challenge was official. Jake stared at Floyd's reply and whispered, "Perfect." Sports networks ran the story instantly. Talk shows debated it. Fighters weighed in. Some said Jake was brave. Others said Jake was delusional. Everyone said Floyd would embarrass him. But Jake didn't care. He kept training, fast, focused, silent. Meanwhile, Floyd strutted into his gym with his entourage behind him, bragging to his trainers. Man, this kid about to get a wake-up call. I'm gonna make him question his whole career. He shadowboxed in front of the mirror, laughing between punches. This boy said I need to prove something. I'm Floyd Mayweather. Proof is my middle name. The sparring session was arranged quietly, at a private boxing facility in Vegas. No reporters. No live streams. Just a handful of trainers and gym staff who were sworn to silence. 2 men. 1 ring. 1 truth waiting to be exposed. Jake arrived early, gloves on, mouthguard in, already warmed up. His mindset, earn respect, don't ask for it. Floyd arrived 30 minutes later wearing flashy designer sweats, sunglasses, and the swagger of an undefeated icon. He didn't stretch. He didn't warm up. He didn't take Jake seriously at all. As Floyd stepped inside the gym, he laughed loud enough for everyone to hear. Look at this kid already sweating. Nervous? Don't worry. I'll go easy on you. Jake didn't say a word. His silence irritated Floyd. You got tongue-tied or what? Floyd mocked. Oh right, that's what slow people do. Think slow. Move slow. React slow. Still, Jake stayed silent. And that's when Floyd smirked and said the line that would come back to haunt him. I'll make this quick. I've got dinner plans. Who do you think was more confident going in, Jake or Floyd? Comment below, and tell me which country or city you're watching from. Inside the ring, Floyd danced on his toes, joking with his trainer. Watch how fast I make this kid look stupid. Jake rolled his shoulders, bounced lightly, breathing slow and controlled. Floyd noticed his calmness and rolled his eyes. Don't act like you got a chance. I'm gonna tap you up for fun. Jake finally raised his eyes and looked directly at Floyd. I'm not here for fun, he said quietly. Those 6 words made the entire room go silent. For the first time. Floyd paused. Just for a second. Then he laughed it off. Whatever you say, YouTube boy. The trainer rang the bell. And as Jake took his first step forward, no one in that room had any idea what was about to happen next. Especially not the man who claimed Jake was too slow. Because in just a few minutes, the world was going to hear a story nobody would believe. The arena lights burned brighter than ever as Jake Paul returned to his corner, his chest heaving, sweat sliding from his jawline. His coach leaned in close, voice sharp but calm. Jake, listen. He's fast, but he's not untouchable. He drops that right shoulder every time he throws the counterhook. You see it? Jake nodded, wiping his mouth with the back of his glove. Yeah. I saw it. He thinks I'm slow, let him keep thinking that. Across the ring, Floyd Mayweather sat confidently on his stool, smirking as if everything was under control. His team worked quickly, icing his neck, patting down his arms, giving him water. But behind his smile, there was something else. A flicker of irritation. He didn't like getting knocked down, even once. "Don't get sloppy," his trainer warned. "He's stronger than you expected." Floyd shrugged. "He just got lucky. I'll show him what real speed looks like." The bell rang for the next round. Jake bounced on his toes, hands tight, eyes focused. Floyd came forward immediately, sharp, shifting angles, testing Jake's reaction time. The crowd leaned forward as Floyd snapped a quick jab. Jake parried it effortlessly. Another jab, Jake blocked again. Then Floyd grinned. "You're still too slow, kid." He lunged in with a lightning-fast combination, the kind that made him a champion, a left to the body, a right upstairs, and a pivot out. But Jake didn't bite. Instead, he watched. He tracked Floyd's movement with unsettling calm, as if everything were happening in slow motion. It rattled Floyd. Jake stepped forward, throwing a straight right, not to land, but to measure. Floyd slipped it easily, but Jake wasn't aiming for his head. He was forcing Floyd into the pattern he had already studied. The crowd roared again when Floyd fired back with a hook. And just like Jake predicted, that right shoulder dipped. Jake's eyes widened. There it is. He torqued his hips and launched a brutal uppercut, clean, fast, perfectly timed. It cracked through Floyd's guard and snapped his head upward. Floyd stumbled back, shock lighting up his face. His legs wobbled. He grabbed the ropes to stay upright. The entire arena exploded. Oh my God! Did Jake just rock Mayweather again? But this time, Floyd didn't laugh it off. He didn't smirk. He looked angry. Real angry. He pushed off the ropes and rushed Jake, throwing punches with a speed the world recognized instantly. The legendary Mayweather combinations, sharp, precise, blinding. Jake covered up, slipping left, rolling right, absorbing the hits like a man refusing to give an inch. Floyd pressed harder, throwing a six-punch combo that echoed across the arena. Jake felt one punch snap his head back, another thud into his ribs. But instead of breaking, he smiled. It was small. Quick. But Floyd saw it. "What the hell?" Floyd whispered. Jake countered with a stiff jab, then another, then a third, pushing Floyd back step by step. It wasn't elegant, but it was powerful. And with each hit, Floyd's confidence cracked a little more. For the first time in years, Floyd Mayweather felt pressure. Real pressure. Jake stepped forward again. This time, he didn't rush. He didn't throw wild punches. He stalked Floyd with the patience of a hunter, forcing the veteran to move constantly, forcing him to work. Mayweather tried to regain rhythm, firing sharp body shots, but Jake absorbed them and responded with a brutal right hook to the ribs. The sound echoed like a baseball bat hitting a wall. Floyd winced. The crowd gasped. This wasn't supposed to happen. Jake could feel the momentum shifting. He could hear the shock, the disbelief, the growing respect in the crowd's voice. He pushed forward again, throwing a heavy overhand right. Floyd barely dodged, but even dodging looked harder for him now. His age was showing. His breathing was heavier. His steps slower. Jake stepped in again, shoulders tight, eyes locked on Floyd like a laser. "You said I'm slow," he growled under his breath. Floyd fired a desperate right. Jake slipped inside and delivered a clean shot straight to the chest, sending Floyd stumbling backwards again. The ropes caught him. And once more, that shoulder dipped. Jake didn't hesitate. He unleashed a devastating left hook. It connected clean. Perfect. Surgical. Floyd collapsed to one knee, glove pressed against the canvas, his eyes blinking rapidly as he tried to regain balance. The arena went absolutely wild. The referee lunged forward, counting loudly. 1, 2, 3. Floyd pushed up, shaking his head furiously. He stood, barely, but his legs were unsteady, his eyes unfocused. Jake, breathing hard, stared at him with a fire Floyd had underestimated. This wasn't the too slow kid he mocked. This was a fighter. A threat. A man who had just knocked down one of the greatest boxers of all time, twice. As the round ended, the camera zoomed in on Floyd's face. And for the first time, he didn't look cocky. He looked worried. Really worried. The bell rang, echoing like thunder across the arena. Floyd Mayweather walked back to his corner slowly, not with his usual swagger, but with stiff, uncertain steps. His team surrounded him instantly, pressing ice to his neck, massaging his shoulders, shouting instructions he barely heard. His breathing was ragged. His pride was shaken, his eyes were wide with disbelief. "Floyd, listen to me," his trainer snapped. "He's reading your movement. You're telegraphing the counter, stop dipping that shoulder." Floyd clenched his jaw. "I've been doing that for 20 years, he muttered. Yeah, his trainer shot back, and for 20 years nobody had the power to punish it like he does. Across the ring, Jake Paul wasn't sitting. He was standing. Pacing. Focused. A fighter at war with gravity. His coach spoke quietly, almost whispering into Jake's ear. "You did it. You broke his rhythm. That's how champions fall, Jake, not from one punch, but from losing the one thing they rely on, confidence." Jake nodded slowly. "I'm not stopping." The bell rang again, round 6. The crowd rose to its feet, every voice mixing into a heavy roar. Even the commentators had lost their composure. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is unreal. Mayweather has never looked this vulnerable. Jake Paul is actually breaking him." Jake stepped forward with a calm, almost predatory stillness. Floyd circled, hands up, chin tucked. Not showboating. Not smiling. Just surviving. This wasn't the Floyd the world knew. Jake jabbed. Floyd flinched. Just a flinch, but everyone saw it. Jake smiled faintly. He feels it now. Another jab. Another step. Floyd backpedaled, trying to reset, trying to breathe. Jake wasn't rushing, he was studying. Calculating. Reading every twitch of Floyd's shoulders. Then it happened again. That slight dip. Jake's eyes sharpened instantly. He fired a right hand straight down the pipe. Floyd blocked, but it shook him, sending him stumbling backward. Jake stalked him. Floyd tried a counterhook. Jake checked it, dug a vicious left into Floyd's ribs, and followed with a straight right to the chin. Floyd's head snapped back. A gasp spread through the crowd like a shockwave. "Oh!" Big shot by Jake Paul. Floyd clenched his teeth, throwing a fast combination, left, left, but Jake absorbed them, resetting instantly and landing another heavy hook to Floyd's body. The sound echoed across the arena. Floyd grimaced in pain. For the first time, he looked slow. Jake saw it. The world saw it. And Floyd felt it. Years of flawless defense, legendary reflexes, perfect footwork, now slipping away, inch by inch, punch by punch. Jake stepped forward again. This time, Floyd tried something desperate, a lunging straight right. But Jake had seen it coming. He slipped left and unleashed a massive overhand right that smashed into Floyd's guard. Even blocked, the force sent Floyd stumbling sideways. He grabbed the ropes. The referee rushed in, not for a count, but to check stability. "Floyd, do you want to continue?" Floyd growled. "I'm fine." But he wasn't. His legs were betraying him. His lungs were burning. His hands were heavy. Jake knew this was the moment. He closed the distance and began ripping body shots, left to the liver, right to the ribs, left uppercut, right hook. Floyd covered up, bending forward, absorbing punishment he had never experienced before. Jake is breaking him down. This is unbelievable. Floyd tried escaping with quick footwork, but Jake mirrored every step, cutting the ring like a veteran. Floyd fainted, but Jake didn't buy it. He stayed patient, waiting for the next shoulder dip. And there it was. Jake fired a brutal right uppercut. It landed flush. Floyd's mouthpiece nearly slipped out. His eyes blinked rapidly as he staggered back, knees wobbling like he was walking on water. The arena erupted. He's hurt. Mayweather is in real trouble. Jake didn't charge blindly. He advanced slowly, methodically, like a hunter savoring the moment. Floyd tried to tie up, but Jake shoved him off. Mayweather stumbled. His gloves dropped ever so slightly. Jake threw a straight left. It connected. Floyd collapsed backward, hitting the canvas hard. The referee sprinted in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Floyd blinked, trying to push himself up. His arms trembled. His left leg slid. Sweat dripped from his chin. 5, 6. He finally stood, not steady, but standing. The ref grabbed his gloves. Walk forward toward me. Floyd stepped once. Wobbled. Stepped again. Still unsteady. He wasn't out, but he wasn't recovered. The ref allowed the fight to continue, but every eye in the arena saw it clearly. Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated icon, was breaking. Jake Paul exhaled, tightening his gloves. This was his moment. The moment the world said would never come. The moment everything changed. He stepped forward with fire in his eyes. And Floyd Mayweather, shaken, bleeding, breathing heavily, braced himself for what was coming next. The bell clanged like a warning siren as round 7 began. Floyd Mayweather rose from his stool with the look of a man who refused to accept reality. But reality was already here, heavy, painful, and undeniable. His legs were stiff. His breathing was loud. And worst of all, his eyes carried fear. Jake Paul stood across from him with the exact opposite energy, calm, precise, and locked in. His chest rose steadily, his footwork light, his mind sharp. He wasn't the wild rookie people mocked years ago. He was a man who had outgrown doubt. And he was fighting like it. As soon as the bell rang, Jake moved forward, cutting the ring with surgical precision. Floyd circled left, but his feet dragged, slower than anyone had ever seen from him. Jake stepped with him, refusing to let him escape. The commentators could barely believe what they were witnessing. Floyd's wheels aren't there. Jake Paul is walking him down, this is unheard of. I've never seen Mayweather look this tired. Floyd tried to fire a jab. But Jake parried it effortlessly and countered with a heavy hook to the ribs. Floyd winced, biting down on his mouthpiece. Another body shot. Another grimace. Every punch was a message. Every strike was a reminder. Jake wasn't just fighting him, he was dismantling him. Come on, Jake said calmly under his breath, show me something. Floyd lunged in with a desperate combination, short shots, quick flicks, the old Mayweather spark. But Jake absorbed them on his gloves, barely stepping back. Then Jake unleashed a brutal right hand to the body. Thud. Floyd nearly folded. He clinched instantly, wrapping Jake up like his life depended on it. The referee pried them apart, but Floyd stumbled as he stepped back. Jake's eyes sharpened. The crowd roared. Everyone could feel it. The fight was slipping away from the legend. Jake stalked forward, throwing a clean 1-2 down the middle. Floyd blocked the first but ate the second. His head snapped back. Jake followed with a left hook that grazed Floyd's jaw. Floyd stumbled again. His foot caught on itself. His balance wavered. Jake didn't pounce recklessly, he pressed forward with discipline, respecting Floyd's counterpunching but knowing deep down that Floyd no longer had the speed to punish him. The shift in power was unmistakable. Floyd wasn't the predator anymore. He was the prey. Move, Floyd, his trainer screamed from the corner. Angles. Angles. Don't stay there. But Floyd couldn't move. Not the way he once could. Not the way he needed to. Jake detonated a sharp right hook to the temple. Floyd wobbled. Jake followed with a jab, then another jab, fast, accurate, snapping Floyd's head back like a bobblehead. Floyd lifted his guard high, breathing through his mouth. Jake feinted a right. Floyd flinched. The crowd exploded, because the world had just seen something they never imagined. Floyd Mayweather reacting like a rookie. Jake stepped in, landing a vicious three-punch combination, left hook to the body, right uppercut to the chin, left hook to the jaw. Floyd stumbled sideways into the ropes, bouncing back with shaky legs. His instincts told him to clinch, but his body was too slow. Jake stepped in again, boom. A massive right straight cracked Floyd right on the face. He crumbled into the ropes, grabbing them desperately to stay upright. The referee jumped in. "Floyd, show me something." Floyd nodded, but his legs said otherwise. Jake's face remained emotionless. Focused. Determined. He whispered again, barely audible. "I'm not the one you used to mock anymore." Floyd swung a desperate hook, wild, unbalanced, sloppy. Jake ducked under it with ease and ripped a monstrous uppercut to Floyd's chin. Floyd's head jolted back violently. Gasps echoed across the arena. Jake took a deep breath, stepped forward, and delivered a brutal body shot that folded Floyd over. The crowd was screaming now, some in shock, some in disbelief, all realizing what was happening. Floyd Mayweather was being broken down, slowly, painfully, publicly. His pride, the thing he protected more than anything, was being crushed with every strike. The referee hovered closely. "Floyd, defend yourself." Floyd tried. He lifted his gloves. But his arms felt like they weighed 50 pounds each. Jake fired another hook to the body, Floyd buckled. A right straight, Floyd staggered. A left hook, Floyd tripped into the ropes. His legs weren't responding anymore. Jake stared at him, almost pitying him, but not enough to stop. "You shouldn't have called me slow." With that, Jake unleashed a blistering combination, left hook to the liver, right hand to the jaw, left uppercut that snapped Floyd's chin skyward. Floyd collapsed. This time, all the way down. The arena froze. No one moved. No one spoke. The referee rushed in, waving his arms. "Down. Stay down." Jake stepped back, chest heaving, eyes fixed on the legend lying beneath him. Floyd blinked, dazed, disconnected, lost. He tried to sit up. His body said no. He tried again. His arms trembled. His vision blurred. His pride shattered. The count began. 1, 2, 3. The world watched in disbelief. Because the man who said Jake Paul was too slow was now discovering just how fast everything could fall apart. Floyd Mayweather lay on the canvas, blinking up at the bright arena lights as if waking from a nightmare. But this wasn't a dream. This was real, painfully real. The ref's voice echoed over him. 4. The crowd murmured in shock, unable to process what was unfolding before their eyes. Some stood with their hands over their mouths. Others stared wide-eyed, shaking their heads. Even the commentators had fallen silent. 5. Jake Paul stood across the ring, sweat dripping down his neck, chest rising rhythmically. He wasn't celebrating. He wasn't smirking. He wasn't taunting. He was watching. Waiting. Focused. Because the moment wasn't done yet. 6. Floyd turned slightly, forcing his arms beneath him. His muscles screamed. His body shook. His lungs were on fire. Every second felt heavier than the last. 7. Floyd lifted himself halfway, but his arms buckled. His gloves slapped back onto the canvas. The world gasped. 8. He tried again, this time with a painful growl, pushing through the agony in his ribs. Slowly, unsteadily. Floyd rose to one knee, then forced himself upright. 9. "Okay. Fight continues. The ref looked doubtful, but Floyd insisted. He raised his gloves, though they wobbled in the air. His legs trembled beneath him like they were borrowed, barely holding him upright. Jake took a step forward. Floyd's eyes flickered. That old spark, pride, stubbornness, the refusal to give up, was still there. But the body holding it wasn't the same one that went 50-0. The bell rang. Round 8. Jake moved in with calm precision, like a surgeon seeing a patient whose time had come. Floyd tried bouncing on his toes, the signature Mayweather rhythm. Nothing. His feet didn't respond. His balance was gone. His instincts were slower. Jake jabbed, pop. Floyd's head snapped back. Another jab, pop. Floyd stumbled sideways. Jake stepped in with a body shot, thud. Floyd bent in half. The crowd roared helplessly. Stop the fight. He's done. This is not the Mayweather we know. But Floyd waved them off, rage and embarrassment burning in his chest. He swung a hook, wild, desperate, nowhere near Jake. Jake dodged without effort. Then Jake hit him with a clean right straight. Crack. Floyd's legs gave out again. He stumbled into the corner, arms falling to his sides for a split second. His eyes fluttered, unfocused. This time, Jake hesitated. Not because he doubted himself, but because he could see the truth clearly. This wasn't a fight anymore. This was the end of a legacy. But the referee hadn't stepped in yet. Floyd forced himself upright, breath ragged, blood trickling from the corner of his lip. He looked across the ring at Jake, pride trembling on the edge of collapse. You're nothing, Floyd spat weakly. Jake shook his head once. That's what you kept telling yourself. Then Jake walked forward, slow, measured, respectful even in dominance. Floyd tried to circle, but his legs refused. He tried to duck, but his reflexes lagged. Jake feinted left. Floyd flinched dramatically. The crowd erupted in disbelief. Jake didn't attack. Not yet. He spoke instead. You taught the world confidence, Floyd. But you also taught us arrogance. Floyd growled, throwing a small right hand. It tapped harmlessly off Jake's shoulder. Jake stepped inside Floyd's exhausted guard and began landing surgical, controlled punches. A jab. Another jab. A hook to the body. A right straight. Not reckless. Not spiteful. But disciplined. Floyd staggered. His legs crossed. He almost fell again. The ref stepped closer, but Floyd barked at him, "Don't stop it." He wanted to go out on his feet. He needed to. His pride demanded it. Jake exhaled, lowering his stance. Okay then, he whispered. He unleashed a devastating combination, left hook to the liver, right straight to the nose, and finally, a monstrous uppercut. Floyd lifted off the ground. His mouthpiece flew out. His eyes rolled. And his body collapsed like a tower made of glass. The arena exploded. Screams. Shouts. Gasps. Hands on heads. Phones recording every angle. The referee dove down, waving his arms frantically. Stop. That's it. Fight's over. Jake backed away instantly, hands raised in a reflex of respect rather than victory. Floyd wasn't moving. Trainers rushed in. Medics vaulted into the ring. Floyd lay still. Then slowly blinked. His pride was gone. His aura was shattered. His legend was bruised beyond recognition. Jake stared at him from the opposite corner, not smiling, not boasting, not celebrating. Just breathing. Because he knew exactly what this moment meant. A new chapter had begun. And a giant had finally fallen. The arena was buzzing like a living thunderstorm. Medics knelt beside Floyd Mayweather, lifting his head gently, checking his vision, shining a small light into his eyes. The once invincible legend was barely sitting upright, his chest rising in uneven bursts. The cameras captured everything. The sweat. The shock. The silence. Jake Paul stood in his corner, towel around his neck, gloves off, breathing slowly. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't celebrating. He looked reflective. Almost humbled by what he'd just accomplished. As Floyd was finally helped to his feet, a wave of applause rose, not loud, not triumphant, but respectful. The audience knew what they had witnessed. A king defeated. A throne shaken. A legacy challenged. The commentators spoke in hushed tones. This changes everything. Jake Paul didn't just win. He shocked the entire boxing world. I've never seen Mayweather take damage like this. Floyd stared blankly ahead, his pride more wounded than his body. When he finally caught sight of Jake, he looked away instantly. For the first time in his career, he didn't approach the other fighter. There was no handshake. No nod of respect. No smirk. Just pain.